Big Orange halftime show with the Tennessee Volunteers and the Auburn Tigers tied at 10 at halftime down on the Plains. The Vols jump out to a 10-0 lead with a couple nice drives put together by Jarrett Garantano, who is the starting quarterback tonight for the Tennessee Volunteers. And then you get an answer, a big play from Bo Nix to Schwartz to make it 10-7. And then Auburn tacks on a field goal after a nice red zone stop by the Tennessee Vols defense. Austin Stanley and Jonathan Crompton here, A to Z Sports, Big Orange halftime show brought to you by BioPure Music City. Changing the standard of clean at BioPure Music City. Have them come to your home or your business to disinfect, protect your crew from the flu. BioPure Music City, and also Ashbusters Chimney Service, your sweeping, inspection, and masonry experts. Ashbusters.net and AshbustersKnoxville.com. So, Crompton, I mean, you kind of saw some life there from the Tennessee Vols in the first quarter on offense. What was your thought first on Jarrett Garantano getting the start, and then what the Tennessee offense was able to do early in that first half?
Well, I mean, we knew he was going to start. At the end of the day, we know he's going to finish out the year unless it's an injury. Pruitt has pretty much made that clear by saying he feels he gives them the best chance to win. So as much as – we all would probably like to see a change. I don't think we're going to see that until he leaves. But, we started off not too bad. Obviously, he missed a throw early on a deep crossing route, but the in route over the middle should have been caught. 100% should have been caught. But the thing that I'm seeing the most right now is our receivers are not attacking the ball. I go back and watch the Florida game earlier today, and I cannot remember the kid's name, big number 8, big 6'4" receiver. He's double covered in the end zone, and he attacks the ball at the highest point. Well, right. Palmer twice tonight. Twice. Once in the end zone. Hey, that was the best place to put the ball. You high point that ball, you got a chance to score a touchdown. The deep over route, that was almost interception. Instead of falling backwards, attack the ball. Don't let the defender undercut you. I'm just not seeing – it's almost like there's not a lot of fire there. We did start off pretty well, but we haven't sustained that, and that's a little concerning for me. I mean, outside of Gray, it just seems a very average game outside of him.
Yeah, and you look at what the Vols have offensively, and you want to think that they actually have a lot of talent on outside on the offense. And you see some plays from Hylett, Palmer out there. We know what he can do when he gets opportunities. I like some of the younger guys getting impact. Velus Jones Jr. getting a lot of touches and opportunities. I think what I saw from the offense was actual creativity. On that first drive, they didn't get any points because a sack happened, and then the missed field goal that was a 50-plus yard field goal from Samaglia, the attempt there that was just wide left. But you saw them actually trying to get creative with a bunch of different motions, left to right, throwing off the defense a little bit. What'd you like? Tell everybody, because you're a former SEC quarterback. What does all these motions do for you on offense, and why do you think Jim Chaney made that something they were interested in doing tonight against Auburn that we really haven't seen much of this season?
Well, first off, what it does is it helps the OC and the quarterback, distinguish man or zone, depending on what type of play we're looking at. Physically, does somebody run with the guy in motion, or do they just bump a guy out? Simple as that. So you're looking for, if they're going man, double cadence or something like that, kind of what we've done a few times, and looking for a man beater. If not, we're looking for a zone beater. And so, I did like that early in the game, but if you notice, we've kind of gotten away from it a little bit because our O-line's getting pushed around.
Right.
So I love that we started with that. We now – what we're going to have to do at halftime is kind of figure out how we can continue that, but not get just bullied up front on certain plays. The touchdown run, that's the Trey Smith we want to see. He just absolutely demolished this kid. Like he ran through this kid's soul. That's the Trey Smith that we want to see play in and play out, and that's the one that we expect because he's that good. We've got to get everybody else on the same page and schematically get them in a situation that they're at an advantage, that we can still do some of the creative stuff we tried to do and not get to the point where we're going to have to take sacks and kick 50-yard field goals, because that's not our strength.
Right. So, I mean, a lot of people, again, I mentioned offensive creativity. I think the first 3 drives of the game, you saw offensive creativity. And then I think Auburn woke up a little bit to it. Auburn realized if you blitz Jarrett Garantano, if you blitz this offensive line and the running backs who are there to protect, one guy is going to be open because they're going to have some type of miscommunication. And that's where Jarrett Garantano has been sacked a couple times. He got hit as he threw a couple times, falling incomplete, one nearly intercepted. So I've seen George say 0 shots downfield. Todd says, what is with the play calling on the last drive? People ask me if your eligibility is up. And CB making fun of me, asking about creativity because they're running 5 yards on 3rd and 8. So what do you think about how the second half ended with Jeremy Pruitt deciding to run off the clock the last minute plus that they had it after the defense made a nice play and stopped Auburn on and made him go 3 and
out? Personally, and just all honestly, I think it shows a not lack of confidence. That's not what I'm getting at, but a very play it safe. Oh God, we're fearing something bad can happen. But it's like I'm saying something and I'm going to laugh like I'm joking. But if you're cool that I'm serious,
okay,
you know what I mean? Kind of like that, where if we get a first down, hey, we might try to get a field goal.
Right.
If we don't, we're okay with it just ending. It's kind of what I got, where we weren't, in all honesty, we weren't serious about trying to get in field goal range. It was, well, kind of got a first down. Hey, maybe we're throwing out route real quick. We might get close or close enough to throw a Hail Mary, something like that. I wasn't enthused by it. I seriously, I think we just try to play it safe, and I don't think we're in it. I don't think every game we're in it to win it. It's the let's not lose.
Sure. A to Z Sports here live on this Big Orange halftime show with Tennessee and Auburn tied at 10. Here live with Jonathan Crompton on A to Z Sports. We're going to get to this question because I didn't know what to expect coming into this halftime show with Vol fans because of how the game started with Tennessee jumping up to a 10-0 lead, and then now where it's at with it being 10-10. Auburn gets the ball to start the second half. Here's the question I want to ask you guys right now. What is your confidence level in the Vols winning this game at Auburn 1 through 10? We'll read some more of your comments, and then we'll talk more about the quarterback position here later as we're about 10 minutes away from the second half getting underway. But what is your confidence level in the Vols winning this game at Auburn, tied 10-10 at half? But first, let me tell you guys about BioPure Music City. Protect your crew from the flu at BioPure Music City, biopureservice.com, and hit up their phone number 615-635-0555. Electrostatic spray. They're in and out. It's quick and easy. They're EPA regulated to kill the coronavirus and the flu, especially if you're having friends and family over to your homes for Thanksgiving, for holiday celebrations, for Christmas coming up. You want to make sure you disinfect the right way, the safe way with BioPure Music City. 615-635-0555. They do have a free consultation for your home or your business right there with BioPure Music City here live on the halftime show, Big Orange halftime show. Confidence level, Crompton. I'll let you start 1 through 10 on the Vols winning, and then I'm going to go back and read a lot of comments.
Okay, yeah, I'm laughing at some of the comments.
Sure.
I mean, my confidence level, I think we all kind of know where I'm going with this after how I just described the end of the first half. I'm going to go with a 4. And it hurts me to even say that I'm going below 5 because, especially as a former player there, you would hope that my confidence level would be a lot higher. I'm not, convinced that the coaches are convinced that we can win, if that makes sense. Not all of them. And I kind of go with that, meaning I know this is a little off subject with this, but this is just the way my brain processes and interprets information. We've got 2 coaches that I think are bought in for Tennessee. And I think we all know what I mean by that, because 2 are the only 2 that were willing to take a pay cut in a world pandemic.
Yeah.
And I think we all know who the 2 I'm talking about. T and J.
They're the 2 that have something in common with you. They've got jerseys on the wall. Right.
Exactly. I think that other than that, I'm not 100% sure that they're all bought in with the confidence level that we can win all these games. Outside of those guys, they know what it means. And so and it hurts me. I guess I'm saying it hurts me to say that I'm below a 5. I really am. So like I said, mine's a 4 for the fact that I don't think the coaches believe we can win.
A lot of comments. Jason with a 1, other Jason with a 3, Icon with a 2, Coach Cut, Shaw with a 1, Kyle, Tyson with 2, Skyler. I'm just going to start showing these comments. So far, the highest I've seen is Marcus's 4 right there. Jason just has no shot. Mark with a 2 here, there. There's some negative. There's a 1 there.
Yeah.
Joshua Bennett says negative 100. Brandon says, I changed the quarterback. I threw the ball more than 8 yards, may do something. We'll come back to the quarterback conversation here. Jordan says 5.5, need to see adjustments after half. That's the highest so far that I've seen. Melvin with a 5. Matthew says 4, will be a 7 if they stop Auburn on the first drive of the third quarter. That's a good point there because
Auburn we've seen how that works sometimes.
Right, but I'm going to get to mine here in a second. Kyle says lose by 20. Let's see.
I don't think that.
Yeah. Let's see. Joe with a 2 out of 10. Third quarter Vols are going to show up until they don't. I like that way of thinking. Like you always expect the third quarter Vols to be what they are until you are proven otherwise. Skyler with 3 in decimals. So my 1, we're not great in the second half coming from David. My thought about this is I'm going to go with a 5.5.
Okay.
Because there's only one play that Auburn's had that's been like phenomenal, right? Like,
that's true.
And that was just a flat out blown coverage and a mistake and miscommunication by the defense. Other than that one play, a 50-plus yard touchdown to Schwartz, Tennessee's defense has played impressively. Now, sure, they've missed some tackles, but I think Auburn's got some dudes who can wiggle back there, who can run the ball. And so you have to make sure you can still contain those guys. But Bo Nix is prone to mistakes, just like Jarrett Garantano is prone to mistakes. So that's how I feel about this. 5.5, and because I feel more confidence in Tennessee's defense tonight than I did against Arkansas, because Arkansas was still moving the ball. Now David brings up a good point, saying the defense will get tired, and that's
I was going to bring that up
because we all have seen this. The offense goes 3 and out, the defense is back on the field. Gives up a long drive. The offense goes 3 and out again, rinse and repeat. So
the only thing I think helps us, and because I like your explanation, I agree with it. I've got the bend but don't break mentality by the defense tonight. We've missed a crap load of tackles, but we just haven't broke. We've given up a big play. And when it happened, I was like, oh, man, they must have done some trickery. They showed the replay. I was like, no, he just ran a straight seam route, which was mind-boggling how we blew that coverage. But you're right. That's the only play we've really given up that's massive. But their starting tailback Tank going down definitely helps our case.
No doubt.
So I'm not mad at the 5.5 at all. I'm just honestly, I'm to the kind of like that comment. Our guys are going to get tired because I don't have the confidence in our offense right now to stay on the field long enough to let these guys get a rest.
Sure. All right, last question I want to get to you guys before the second half gets back underway. I find this interesting. How long is the leash on Jarrett Garantano in the second half? I find that because we all know everybody wants Harrison Bailey. How long is the leash on Jarrett Garantano in the second half? But real quick, I'm going to tell you guys about Ashbusters Chimney Service, ashbusters.net. They are the chimney inspection, repair, and masonry experts. Before you get that fire going in your fireplace this winter and cozy up to it, make sure it is safe for you and your family. If you're doing some custom work, these guys are literally the best. They've got you in Nashville at ashbusters.net and in East Tennessee at ashbustersknoxville.com. Trust the experts with Ashbusters Chimney Service and check them out right there. So the question is, as we're getting closer and closer to the second half, how long is this leash for Jarrett Garantano in the second half? Crompton, how do you feel about this?
To me, there's no leash unless he, concussion protocol or gets hurt or something. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm just saying there's not going to be a leash. Pruitt is proven he is riding or dying with him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just the situation. And what I want to talk about real fast before we have to go is everybody that's on the Bailey train. I'm not agreeing and I'm not disagreeing. Okay. All I can say is Vanderbilt is playing better than us offensively with a true freshman quarterback that I hate to say it, I didn't even know his name before he got to Vanderbilt and started playing.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude's he's playing pretty well right now. You know what I mean? So LSU, they're playing better with a true freshman quarterback. I'm not saying it's the right move. I'm just saying sometimes, like I've said the other day, if you're going to be the head dog, you got to make a hard decision sometimes. And it sucks. But that's the reality of life, and that's the reality of sports. That sometimes you got to swallow your pride and say, man, I got to do what I got to do. What's best for, in this sense, Tennessee. So there's no leash though, personally.
So you're thinking JG plays. I'm thinking I think the second turnover, this is hypothetical, obviously, but the second turnover is when JG comes out. And the one thing I want to say about Harrison Bailey getting snaps, if the guy's getting snaps, let him throw the damn ball, because there's no point in him just handing off to run the clock out to end the game. If Harrison Bailey is in the game, give him some damn snaps. And that's how I feel about that. Like
I agree with you.
Throw the ball. Let him throw it.
100% in agreement. I mean, look at Alabama and Bryce Young. I mean, he's not going to throw the ball a lot, but they're still going to let him run certain concepts to see how he processes that information. And he threw a hell of a ball down the sideline earlier today. I mean, just dropped a dime in there. And then the touchdown pass, he's showing them that he can make plays because they're allowing him to show it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I agree with you 100%. If you're going to put him in at all, it doesn't matter the time of the game or not. This year doesn't mean anything. We're not making the playoff. We're not making the SEC championship game. If he's going to go in, let him throw it. Let him do something to prove that next year he can compete. Because right now, you know zero about him, but more than you knew when he came in because you haven't let him do anything.
No doubt, no doubt. A to Z Sports here live, Big Orange Halftime Show. We'll be right here where you're watching this for the post-game show. Again, thanks to our great sponsors here on the Big Orange Halftime and post-game show. BioPure Music City. Protect your crew from the flu and the coronavirus by having BioPure Music City disinfect your home or business. BioPureService.com and Ashbusters Chimney Service, your chimney sweeping experts for masonry inspections and more. Ashbusters.net, and also in Knoxville, AshbustersKnoxville.com. We will see you guys for the post-game show. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll find out. We'll be back in about an hour.
We'll see.
All right, thanks, guys. See you.